Hello and welcome to this solo podcast. Today I will be talking about weight loss, and motivation in general, and how to, mostly important, how to maintain your motivation. So let's jump straight into this and let's get started. We're going to be talking about how to get excited and sticking to a plan. It doesn't need to be weight loss, it doesn't need to be training. This could be playing with your kids, it can be anything that you really want to do that you need the motivation to stick to. We all get motivated for a while, it sometimes just doesn't stick. So, what my intention here today is to build a ecosystem, a system where you can build and generate the motivation and go the full distance. So the challenge is, where is the motivation after the startup buzz? We all know this. We just get started and everything is fantastic. It's Monday and we're starting, it's working, and when we reach Friday, Saturday, or maybe the next Monday, everything is different. There's obstacles. You don't know what to do. But if we stick to the weight loss part, you know what to eat, you know what to do, and you know how to work out and what to work out, but you don't know how to stick to it. The motivation is just, you've just used it all. It's gone. So we need to put in the energy and build a process so we can keep the motivation going. So let's talk solutions for getting this working for you. Motivation doesn't appear when you need it. It sometimes just isn't there. We need a way to generate motivation within your attitude, your own energy, and put the center, the strength, and weight of action and change, and putting all this together so you can keep going towards your goal. I'll be talking about strategies for creating motivation every day, day in and day out. We need a process where we can stick to this. So when the motivation lacks, we need some tips, tricks, strategies to build up your motivation so you can just keep on going. These processes involve reframing and thinking in associations and thinking a little outside the box and trying to go in or go. I really like my mind gym. This is a part I like from the Seal Fit Academy books and training that I've done with them. Going into the reference to his book, Mark's books, The Unbeatable Mind. Here he talks a lot about going into the mind gym. This is a fantastic exercise for me, especially when we're talking motivation and your own energy. Getting into this and reframing and associating things with weight loss so we get the positive thinking working and just training your mind. So we need to improve our focus and getting away from the obstacles and seeing and recognizing the small actions that we constantly can do to build the momentum and progress towards our goal. So we will get closer to the goal in small steps and small successes every time. Build on the small successes and repeat, rinse, and just build on that. So let's get started with some of the tricks. I would like to start to talk about self-talk. Self-talk is super important. When you can change up your self-talk to different, instead of saying, I can't, say, how can I? Simple, but very effective. Let's take another one. Instead of saying how hard, or thinking how hard I have it, so you talk to yourself and you think it's just too hard. Have the spirit and the gratitude of the journey. Enjoy the small steps we just talked about and move from that. Instead of recognizing yourself as how tired you are and how hard you have had it, tell yourself how energized and how much you can get done, and you have been doing and you have done. This is a classic for some people morning ritual. For me, it's the afternoon. In the morning, I'm always fired up working, getting my morning workout done and getting stuff done. But when we reach afternoon, it's harder. But recognize this, and just keep on working with you and yourself. Another one is if you're telling yourself that you're so busy and it's hard and you're stressed, then start thinking of your work as productive. You're productive. Again, move back to the small steps in the process and enjoy it. Instead of telling yourself that it will never happen, tell yourself that it doesn't matter. It will happen. It will happen. Not that it doesn't matter, but it will happen. But you need to go through the small steps, and then you will, no matter what, reach your goal and be happy all the way. It is just some short self-talk. It's just very, very easy to get caught up in these small things, but we will get into more stuff like this. As promised, we talked about the truth and how to hold it in your mind. Watch your actions and watch how things will happen if you move into the small steps and just keep on working the process. So build on the small steps and the process. I will later teach you some tricks to getting this right and discover the way around some of these hard corners and stuff that you reach when you meet the obstacles in your everyday. So let me teach you 4 easy or 4 tips that you need to, or strategies that you need to have to be ready to tackle some of this. The first thing and the most important thing is you need to find your why. And finding your why is just it could be a general why for your life. It could be just a why for your particular motivation. Let's stick to the weight loss. Write down all the fantastic things you get from weight loss, not only for you but for your family. And when you're looking at this entire list, then generate a sentence that really speaks to you and gives you something that you can refer back to as, this is something that I really want. That's the number one. Find your why. And then the second tip is use power notes. A lot of my clients, and I use this differently. I use power notes in my daily notebook, and I have it in my phone as well, and on my note cards, or on the back of business cards, or wherever I have different places where I have these examples of power notes that I have written down, and that is fantastic to have, are this power sentences like good food equals good energy. So whenever I'm caught up in I need to get some energy, and we all know this, we grab a quick bar or a protein bar or something else that's lying around, then just remember, good food equals good energy. Another great one, great things will happen. Again, we're moving back through the process. Take the small steps and then enjoy the process, and then great things will happen when you stick to it. And then one that I use often as well, that's in my notes as well, is every day I get better. So it's small steps, it's the process. I'm enjoying the process. I'm trying to I'm chasing the excellence in the process. I'm using small steps. I'm using small bricks to build a fantastic house. That was number 2. Use power notes. Number 3, seek out a supportive community. If you can't find the community within your family, then join a community where you can. This could be weight loss groups, it could be business groups. If it's business, it could be group training where you just speak to the others and find places where you can use a Facebook group, where you make a Facebook group or join a Facebook group. You can even join my Facebook group where we talk a lot about this and help each other with struggles and things. But supportive community is fantastic. The closer you can get this, that people that know you, that like you, that love you, this changes the game totally from a Facebook group where people just are there. But if you can get something that you can relate to, that you can be together on, being at workout, being in the same program, or living in the same town, or whatever it can be, find some support. It's important. And external support from a coach or a trainer can be even more beneficial because of the professional and the outside support, and look on your obstacles and your weight loss and your training from a different perspective, and maybe a more professional and objective perspective, but they still know you. Whoops, that one went a little long. Let's go to number 4. Approve of yourself just as you are. And again, we're building on this process. When you're washing the car or making food, you making the recipe for the first time, you often find small steps that you could do a little better. Enjoy that the meal is tasting fantastic, and then build on this. This is a lot of the times how I build my recipes for the recipes in my blog, and for the members course where they get my recipes. It is build something that I really would like in my mind, and I start mixing it up, and when I'm tasting it and making the process for the first time, the version 1.0, then I start seeing things that I might could change up or do differently. This is something that I do with looking at other recipes as well. This can be better when I see somebody else's recipe, or this could fit better in my day. So enjoy the way you are. I like the way I look right now, but then I build on that. I know that my arms aren't as strong as my legs and my core, and I would like some more strong functional arms. My pull-ups aren't that good as I would like them to be. So this is my upper body is what I'm working on, but I'm very happy with the amount of pull-ups and handstand push-ups that I can do right now. But again, I like the process of doing it a little better. So approve yourself just as you are is important, but that doesn't mean that you can't get better. Let's take some more practical tips and then just general things that I've written down in my notes here. As humans, we naturally and move towards things that bring us comfort, and just we're just a species made to take it the easy way and jump around or get around the pain. We don't like the pain, and of course we didn't. If we're talking primal speaking, this is when a cut or a bruise could potentially kill you because of a lot of different things. That's why stop doing stupid things in the primal rules. This is fantastic because today we just do it differently. We just do things that we shouldn't do. But as humans, when we're talking motivation, we are programmed to move around the difficult things. That's why it can be hard, and that's why we need the support, the inner why you need to keep on going. We often do this without even noticing it, this steering away from the motivation. When it comes to weight loss, you may be super successful in the beginning, but as we talked about, we need to get sticking to the process because we build up the negativity when it's wrong, and then it just falls down. So again, I keep sticking to the process with motivation. Stick to the small steps, and then remember, even if you like it, write down the small things. A lot of my clients, I have them do journaling. So they have a daily journal where they write down how everything is going and working. And this is a fantastic way of enjoying what's worked yesterday, the day before, and then just try to get back to the fantastic things, the energy you have obtained through your weight loss, or not even, doesn't need to be weight loss, but just the increased energy, the better sleep, the things you get from eating more natural food and getting more energy. You can, and sometimes will, your limitations stop you, but you need to control them and just keep on going. And these limitations are a big factor. I love this quote. I don't know who wrote it, but I tried to find it when I wrote it in my notes, but I can't. When you argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. This is super important, and this is especially important for your weight loss goals, and you get into this a lot. So think about it. When you say, oh, I just worked out very hard, and I can't have that candy bar or whatever it is, this is you giving yourself permission, and then you just get yourself to keep them. So then it's okay, even more okay next time, blah blah blah, and just keep on. So let me say it again. When you argue, when you argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. But if you don't argue for them, we can move all the bad limitations out and just keep the good motivation going. Switching your focus to all the fantastic doors that will and can open within your process toward your health and fitness goals is very important. So keeping alternating from your limitations and moving towards your all the great things, doors that your process can open, that is something very, very important and can help you a lot. In this process, direct your energy. You have focus on all the small, good, positive things that your steps have gotten you, and then enjoy the positive things that you can get from, like, playing with your kids and having a fantastic time because of you stick to your plan and your process is working. Focus on how fantastic it would be to have this continue when you stick to the plan. But let's just, I can't see what I've written here. what's the center of your limitations? How far will it take you? Will it take you long enough? So let's move to some actions instead of talking about all these limitations. We've moved them because we don't want them sticking. Take some action. You need to take action on one thing at the time. I've been talking about the process a lot here, but sticking to one thing and then build on this one thing. Small changes and stick to them to build your strength. The same is when you're building strength in the training or anything else, or learning your kids to walk. We all started with just getting them standing up, and then we got all of you with kids, remember this. Just the beginning from lying down to crawling, and then they started standing up on things, and then they started taking the first steps. Then we got the stroller, and they got some more steps, and then it just kept on working. They just kept on without us even telling them. They looked, they copied, and they just tried to do this. But they enjoyed the small steps and get up and try to move. We need to get back to this primal state of taking the small steps, enjoying them, and just move on, being happy and building on our successes every day. Not only when you have things working, just keep on working with the process every day and build on top of this. When one thing is working 100%, then we put on another thing. Normally I have my clients 2 plans or 2 strategies each week. We don't change up a strategy before the first one is working. So just recognize one positive move that you are going to take towards your health, your strength, your power, your primal family energy, and just keep doing this constantly. Go back, journal, whatever you need to do, and then build on this. Without any excuses, just work on it, build on your own success, and do it without complaining, and with energy and sense of great self-improvement to help you and your family. I hope some of all these tricks that I've given you here in my solo podcast will help you. This is a new style that I'm starting to do. It's just me writing down some notes on topics. I will take some of the problems that some of my clients have and I've heard of, and I will try to build a shorter episode that you can use to get the tips and the motivation that I've been talking about. I try to keep these under 30 minutes, but this is the way that I will be putting some of these out, so you can search them, use them, and remember, if you would like all these small, shorter tips, then like and subscribe to the podcast, and go over to online.crodeo.dk. That is online.crodeo.dk. And here you'll find my blog, and I will put up the episodes and episode notes on here as well. And you will find a lot of different things here, and see, and you can reach out to me and get the help and whatever you need to get ready for your next journey, motivation, your weight loss. But have a great day, and thank you for listening once again. Thank you.